my friends, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Nerdcast. I'm Corey, and joined with me, as always, is Christian.
Hey, everyone on Internet Land TV thing, YouTube. Welcome.
We're going to do something a little different today, guys. We're actually playing with a brand new toy. It is the Rodecaster Pro. You can probably see it right here on the table, and we just want to sort of play around with it today and see some of the special features of this soundboard and mixer. There you go. It's got built-in sound effects, which I'm sure we're going to abuse a lot in this episode right here.
Anyway, we're just learning how to use it. It's a fun device, and I think it's going to, honestly, I don't know if you guys are going to notice a big difference, but it gives us a lot more control of what's going on, and I'm just excited to use new gear. And also, Corey and I, we work for a video production company. We're like, we need to get better with this kind of stuff, so we're just going to force ourselves to use it during the podcast.
Exactly, and we're probably going to experiment with it a lot more over the course of the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
we want to load up our very own special sound effects whenever we talk about specific segments.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning, I was doing the whole like One Piece thing. You know, like when an ending of an episode is coming up and they have that like music that's popping up. Like we want to use that as sort of like a segue as we move into say like a One Piece review or something. Or if we're talking about like Mortal Kombat, we want to play the Mortal Kombat theme for like a second or
just
something.
to make sure we can't get any monetization.
Exactly. We want to make sure we don't make any money whatsoever
doing this. Yeah, this is just for fun, guys.
The point is, though, again, check out our Patreon. That way we can make a little bit of dough actually doing this. But, of course, it's going to be little things like that we're going to be changing over the course of the next couple weeks. Maybe the visual style of the backgrounds are going to change. Hopefully you guys have been noticing that type of stuff. Christian's been working extra hard on, like, you can see, like, we got an LED rim light that's coming out from over here. Just
it's
kind of
blue.
like a nice, solid blue color.
Because I'm so cool. Oh.
There we go. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that one today. But again, we just wanted to give a quick introduction. Like, why are you guys wearing headphones? Why do we have this like weird thing on the table? Again, we're playing with it. That's what we like to do.
We're playing with our dinghy.
And of course, the damn LED light
the thing went out.
Just went out.
Corey, you should have been charging that.
I should have been charging that.
That's just how it works.
That's not how it works around here. But yeah, you guys get the idea. When we have an LED light that's charged, it'll make a better use. Also, we need to have that thing hooked up to like a battery, which is ironic because I think we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna fix everything. This whole podcast is falling apart. I quit.
It's okay. Point is, we're still going to have a regular show for you guys today. There's a lot that I want to talk about. There's a lot of big news that have just come out. But first and foremost, I just want to go ahead and say, Christian, in the last episode, we were talking a lot about the Midnight Gospel.
That's right.
And you loved that show. You loved the creativity behind it.
Yep.
A lot of it is the fact that you love the host, Duncan Trussell.
I'm a big fan of Duncan,
He's a great speaker, and he can go on some amazing diatribes and rants. And I was not really that big a fan of the Midnight Gospel.
The ethereal mist, Corey. You wouldn't understand.
You got to look through the ethereal mist to understand Duncan Trussell. But I kind of shot down the Midnight Gospel upon watching it for the first time.
Yep.
And I've seen 3 episodes since we talked last, and I like it.
Yay!
Yeah, I ended up really enjoying it. The problem was when I first started watching it.
It's also not a binge show.
I cannot watch more than one episode.
Yeah, it's a one a day
at a time. Yeah, it really. You have to separate it by 24 hours.
Yes,
I think, to fully appreciate these things. And a lot of it is because it wasn't what I wanted at first. I wanted it to be more of an adult adventure time, and it wasn't. When I accepted that it basically is just an animated podcast.
Yes,
that's when I really started to enjoy it a lot more. It also helps, too, that it's just creatively awesome looking.
Yeah,
like every episode,
you can tell.
Every
the
episode
animators
just looks so good. Like, the second episode was the one that made me go, okay, I'm kind of starting to understand this. The next one after that, I was like, all right, now I'm actually kind of digging this.
The clown parasites?
The clown babies who get eaten by the deer dogs?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
That was the moment that made me laugh. I was just like, this is just the surreal nature of it I thought was really great. But after that, when I finally started watching the episode, I was like, okay, there's a little bit more to this outside of the fact that it's basically just a dumb stoner podcast animated show. It's good. And, listening more to Duncan Trussell also helps a little bit. I didn't know much about the guy outside of the fact he's that weird hippie stoner who goes on Joe Rogan occasionally.
Yeah, that's about all I knew, too, I'll be honest.
That was like my full knowledge of Duncan Trussell. And he is still very much kind of that, but I have to admit the show is creative. And again, it's just the tried and true thing is just give it a second chance. You never know, you might end up liking it. Speaking of liking it, though, I just want to talk about this because this has been a pretty big week for Star Wars.
May the 4th be with you. What is it? It's the 5th or the 6th?
The 5th was yesterday.
Okay.
Which was the Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th.
And Monday was, of course, Star Wars Day. And it was a big day for Disney Plus because they finally put Rise of Skywalker on there. And you finally watched it for the first time.
I did. look, Disney is good at blocking their stuff from getting on the internet. Like I couldn't find any clips back when the movie was out. I couldn't find, and I am a notorious just watch the best parts on YouTube and say I watched the movie guy. Like that is who I am. I'm not going to lie and tell you I watch a bunch of stuff. Sometimes I just watch the fights. Sometimes I just watch the important scenes and then I'm done. And I could not do that with this Star Wars movie. So I was kind of excited to like log into my Disney Plus account and start watching it. And then I just got like bored after the first 20 minutes. But a lot of things were happening. And I was like, okay, we're off the first planet within the first 20 minutes. I did think it was almost funny / comical when Rey was doing her Jedi training and she had the rock spinning in different semicircles around her. I was like, that is kind of like Avatar, the animated series, like kind of a ripoff. I'm sure it's not the first time we've seen shit float around people with an energy orb, like that's, but it seems so campy in a Star Wars film. Like that's not the way they do it. They're sort of like push rocks or, shoot force lightning. I don't know. I immediately was like a red flag. I was like, what are they doing? They're supposed to be more creative than that. And I just overall found the movie to be really boring. And I feel like some of the characters, halfway through, I realized they didn't care about any of the characters. Poe was boring. And that's Oscar Isaac. That guy fucking draws you in when he's on screen. And I don't really know how to complain about this movie because, one, I'm not really a big Star Wars fan in the sense that, like, I have nothing to complain about because it's not destroying my childhood. I didn't really care about the series when I was younger. But I will say, like, it was just sort of a boring movie that had no point. I didn't really understand the Emperor coming back. He had the ability to zap all the ships anyway, so why did he need a big fleet? Who was watching him? Who was cheering him on? We never even saw their faces. I didn't understand what was going on, and the Force healing abuse was just so egregious by the end of it, or the being able to steal their life force, or being able to heal people with your life force, and what is
Harry Potter shit.
It got to the point where I was like, but life force and the Force are they're obviously connected. But I didn't understand how they work in conjunction with each other. I didn't understand. I literally did not care about how they were looking for that fucking cube to find the place where to go with the knife and stuff. That was the most boring subplot I have ever seen.
And arguably the worst part of the movie.
Like I was like,
and it's
what?
Most of the movie.
I was like, what is going on? Luke is dead. Leia's dead. I don't care about anything, but yet they're all still in the movie, but they're not that interesting. And then the thing with Luke coming back and
as
a Force Ghost, pretty much changing all of his dialogue, saying, no, I was wrong. You got to protect your weapon. No, dude, you threw it over your shoulder for dramatic effect. You were over it. You were pretty much a has-been. And he kind of died a has-been. He didn't really come back and help that much.
He didn't do shit.
He didn't do shit.
No.
And then her being a Palpatine, everyone knew, but no one told her. Leia does keep secrets. She didn't tell Poe either. She does.
But why keep that a secret?
I don't know, Corey. I'm trying to pad this out before you go on some epic rant.
I'm not going on an epic rant.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear your thing. Because if I went on a rant, it would be the whole podcast.
Yeah, it would be the whole podcast. You just know more than I do on this topic.
I hate Rise of Skywalker. It's the worst Star Wars movie ever
made. It
made.
really wasn't impressive. Visually, it was. You can't say it isn't a pretty movie. It's a beautiful movie. It has too much money behind it, and the
story is ass.
The story is ass, and they got lost, and I don't know what they were trying to do. They didn't use the old grandma alien with the big eyeball glasses. They didn't use her.
She was pointless anyway.
She's supposed to be like the new Yoda, though, and then they never really developed her.
They never did shit with her. She was in Force Awakens to act as an expositional alien.
Yeah.
To supposedly explain why she has Luke Skywalker's fucking lightsaber, which belonged to Anakin, which, by the way, never got explained how she got it or how it ended up in her possession, even though she said in that movie that's a story for another time.
Or like Poe was supposed to tell Rey something and then he never did. And that pissed me off because I remembered that.
Yeah.
And no one even pointed that out. Well, you reminded me today when we talked about it before we went live. And I was like, oh, yeah, what is that? What were they talking about?
And when the movie came out, everybody was asking the same thing. They're like, wait, what did Finn want to say to Rey? Like, what was the big deal here? What was going on? And, of course, everybody's initial thought is he's confessing his love to Rey.
I like you.
Yeah, I like you. I like you. I love you. Check box, yes or no.
Yep.
No, it's none of that shit. Apparently, and this is the part that I think was just more stupidity from this stupid-ass trilogy.
Stupid face.
According to Finn, he said that he was going to tell Rey that he's a Force user or has the ability to use the Force, and it's like, What does that have to... Why do you have to tell her that while you're drowning in quicksand, which isn't even quicksand? It takes you to an underground place with a giant, stupid worm monster.
Also, if Rey's so damn good at or Finn... No, it's Rey. If Rey's so damn good with the Force, why don't she just lift them all up?
We've seen her lift all types of shit.
She lifts
can't
rocks
use the
for
Force
left.
to lift everybody up at this moment.
She can't lift No.
It's just one of thousands of problems wrong with this stupid fucking movie.
I really could not understand. And how the hell did Ben Solo or Kylo Ren survive that goddamn plane crash? Just get out.
When he's stupidly flying
Right
towards
at her?
in the 50th fucking desert planet in Star Wars, she just jumps and cuts the whole damn thing.
She cuts a wing off.
At the speed that thing was going at and the way that it tumbled.
Why didn't he
His
die?
neck should have been broken 20 times.
Why didn't he can't just get out and be like, not even dizzy. Like,
no,
what?
I don't care how strong of a Jedi. You're gonna get hurt. You can't use the Force. Kylo Ren and Rey have the most stupid protective story shields I have ever seen in my entire life.
And I think you bring up a really good point. I don't want to get too much in the minutia about it, but that Poe's the pilot. Kylo Ren's supposed to be the bigger Force user. Then you got a few people that do
you got
certain.
Finn, who had an interesting story arc of being a stormtrooper who defected and then turned into nothing.
Like
he turned into the side character.
He's just the friends of the main character.
He's the friend of the main. That is his role.
Well, he did meet
trilogy.
another Star Trooper defector, right? He
Yeah,
met those smuggler chicks.
He met those people on the moon of Endor.
Yeah, and that went nowhere. Don't really care about him. What
happens is the whole movie is they go to a planet, they find a thing, they meet a person, and then they repeat it like 5 times.
5 times in a row.
And it's just to find a thing, to find a thing, to find another thing.
Just to deflect Force lightning back on Palpatine to defeat him again. And I was like, you sons of bitches.
This entire plan is also convoluted, stupid, makes no sense.
And
it's been the whole movie looking for things to find a thing when they have a thing that allows them to find the thing with them the whole time.
And the other part is the Palpatine's plan is what? He could run shit already with all his goddamn ships. Why does he need to keep defeating people? He could just run shit. Like, I don't...
They have to have a...
I'm so confused why that movie's supposed to be good.
On the planet Exegol, they have a fleet of Star Destroyers that have the inability to know which way is up unless it's because of some single radar on the planet.
The nav satellite thing? Yeah, the nav satellite.
Otherwise, they can't move up into the atmosphere. Fucking move up!
That's a thing that's a weakness that Star Wars suffers from its space battles. Like, they don't ever have, here's a big group, let's see who wins. There always has to be an Achilles heel they're trying to strike at each other with. Why can't they just say 50 of these, there's 50 of these, and then just show me a cool battle?
And you know what, evil guys? Stop putting the entire, self-destruct button out for everyone to find.
Yeah, you think they'd patch that?
Bury that shit into the core of the planet or something. Use some crazy Star Wars bullshit technology to make it so that won't happen. Stop allowing yourselves to get defeated so easily. You're like Bowser from Super Mario Brothers. You provide the main characters with a weapon to kill you every single time.
Sounds good to me.
It's just so stupid. They don't know which way is up. Someone look out the window and go up there.
And we'll do it slowly. If you guys are scared that you're going to bump into each other. You're saying those ships, my $1,500 drone has detecting sensors for trees and these.
Palpatine spends 30 years raising an army of red-clad stormtroopers when he has the ability to clone Snoke, a super powerful dark side user. How about making an army of Snokes? Yeah. Who's going to stop him when he's shooting lightning all over the place and using the Force and all types of crazy shit? He clearly had the ability to control him. See, now I'm getting heated up. Now I'm thinking about the stupidity of this stupid movie.
Star Wars, I feel bad because they've made good Star Wars films. Disney has.
Yeah.
Rogue One, Mandalorian, sort of it. And
Clone Wars was good.
Oh, yeah, the animated stuff. The ending
of Clone Wars was fantastic, which also
I don't know.
They aired the final episode on May 4th.
Yeah.
Again, that was kind of my segue. I didn't intend for this to turn into.
I wanted it to because you get so
shit all over Rise of Skywalker.
Dude, Rise of Skywalker is really, and it's sad because as someone who has a better opinion than most people, what I'm saying is when your friend comes up with Rise of Skywalker on DVD, and he's like, dude, we got to watch this. Do you want to slap it out of his hand and say, no, it's a bad movie, bro. It's not worth our time. I could watch 50 YouTube videos that would teach me things or be way more entertaining than that. I am not giving that 2 hours of my life. And I fast forwarded through it. I probably watched the whole film in 30 minutes. I'll be honest. I fast forwarded through a lot of it. But I got the gist.
Yeah.
And I get it. I didn't give a shit about those characters. And I liked Poe. And I liked Finn. And Rey I tolerated. And Kylo Ren was super cool, but nothing cool happened. And I think when Kylo Ren choked out one of his dudes at the, they have their big conference room.
He lifts them up
and chokes them into the ceiling. The dude's like, why are we joining forces with Palpatine? What are we gaining from this? We already have a giant fleet. We're already running shit, like, essentially. He's like, shut up for your legitimate questions. I was like, that was a good question.
No, it's totally true.
It's like, why join with this guy? We don't know him.
Like, we need to make Kylo Ren more like Darth Vader.
Remember
when Darth Vader choked that guy?
Oh, and they killed the redhead dude.
Yeah, they killed General Hux.
And he said, hey, I don't care who wins. I just want Kylo Ren to look bad.
What an anticlimactic way to take that character out, too.
That character was so, cool in the first film. Like, it was him and Kylo Ren. It was equals. They were sort of like equals against each other. Yeah. One guy was strength, Kylo Ren. One guy was smart. They had It was
totally like next generation Darth Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin. Like, it was
cool.
It was interesting dynamic. These two super badass guys, this one military leader, this Force user who work under this mysterious leader. It was basically Star Wars again.
Yeah. But then they turned him into the goofy spy guy.
Yeah.
And they kill him off on the deck of that ship. So unclimactic.
I don't know. The one guy just shoots him. Just boom.
He's like, oh, that's the spy.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Let's head to the 10th planet of the movie and try and figure this shit out.
I just thought the whole thing. Would it have been better if they made it 2 movies?
No,
probably not.
The problem, they could have made it a whole trilogy. It's just the story was bad. It was just a movie about finding shit to find more shit. And
but then at the end,
plan made
you
no
find
sense.
Yourself.
Even that would be better than some of the stuff that they actually delivered. But you know what? Enough about Rise of Skywalker. We're like the fucking millionth people to complain.
Yeah, I don't think that's why you guys care.
But May 4th, it was kind of an interesting thing. It's always a good thing for Star Wars fans because they get to celebrate and talk about the things they do like in Star Wars. Of course, we had the ending of Clone Wars, which I thought was really fantastic.
Still need to watch that.
There was still managing to still be controversy around May 4th. I don't know if you heard about this. So on Twitter, everybody, and social media in general, everybody loves to, talk about Star Wars and say, May the 4th be with you and all
the
this
hashtag
other stuff.
thing? Is that what you're about to go into?
Yeah, it's the hashtag thing. I'm sure you heard about Disney, copyright claiming. A ton of people doing that because they're trying to copyright that phrase. May the 4th be with you.
I mean, that's what I'd do if I had unlimited money and I was a big corporation too, but I don't think it's right.
And, people... Basically, Disney had a problem with the fact that people were criticizing Star Wars too and using May the 4th be with you.
Ooh.
They were sort of, taking control out of all of that. And, as if the Star Wars franchise wasn't getting enough vitriol thrown at it enough, like, Disney does this, and it's like, you guys are not helping the situation at all. You're still continuing to hurt this franchise. Stop. Just stop right now. Like, you need to let the fans vent, and you need to let them say what they want.
Yeah. I agree, 100%.
We've seen enough evidence in the last year that if you let the fans, the real fans, not just the angry, at everything kind of people,
the recreational outrage people,
it really can help the franchise out a lot. That's what I'm not saying it's Shakespeare or anything. It definitely fucking isn't. Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie came out and they listened to the fans, and it ultimately ended up helping that movie a ton.
I bet Sonic the Hedgehog was a better movie than. Wow. Should I say that?
It was.
Know. Okay, good.
I've seen Sonic.
You've seen Sonic?
I went ahead and watched Sonic, and
it's a kid's movie.
It's so scary to say that was better than the final chapter in the damn Star Wars saga. Like, it had no right to be as good as it was, and Sonic was charming and fun in the way that he needed to be, and the studio listened. They understood what people didn't like, and they didn't try to do their own thing and upset anyone. They wanted to make something for the fans, and damn it, that's what Disney needs to do now. They need to get these fans back because they're hurting them and they keep offending them. And the future still looks bright. Like, Mandalorian is still coming out. And
Yeah,
I can't wait for
Waititi.
that. Taika Waititi is making a Star Wars movie.
And writing it, which I'm
Apparently.
cool with.
Yeah.
He went from being Hitler
To Star Wars.
which is crazy. That's how good that guy is.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason he could do that is because he's a good writer, good director. He understands visual storytelling like a motherfucker. Thor Ragnarok is still maybe one of the best Marvel movies out there. You know, it's great. And so if he's at the helm of Star Wars, I trust in it. I also believe that Disney needs to trust the people they hire, because I think they have a bad habit of getting in there and micromanaging. I think J.J. Abrams has reported a few times that he's like, this movie shouldn't say directed by me. It should say directed by Walt Disney, you know, because they have a vision.
The
and
Force Ghost of Walt Disney.
This is the Force Ghost of Walt Disney, who can float around and move things now. Oh, my God. He's here in the room, Corey. We better not say, may the fourth be with you one more time, or else we'll get demonetized.
Exactly. We're going to destroy these stupid sound effects buttons by the time.
I know. We're pressing them buttons a lot today, guys. A lot.
Anywho,
I
but
don't even know what that one does. Oh,
there we
okay.
go. But the future is bright for Star Wars.
That's a damn joke. I get it. The point is that I hope Taika Waititi does well.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I hope he does well. He's a great writer. He's a good actor, good voice talent. You know, he was great in Mandalorian.
And let him do what he wants. Like you said, don't micromanage.
Nope.
Just let
him do it.
Do his own thing. Let him be creative. Continue to let Jon Favreau be in charge of Mandalorian. Because these guys, Jon Favreau has such a damn good track record now. It scares me.
Yeah, people don't even realize how many things he's made.
I mean, it's so crazy. Like some of the. I mean, I think he was the director. He's made a great Christmas movie. He made Elf.
Yep.
He revitalized the Marvel franchise in the biggest way possible.
Iron Man.
And he's made arguably the most popular Star Wars thing ever in The Mandalorian.
Well, I just think
the guy has triple hit it out of the park, and that's not even speaking for a lot of the other things that he's done. So
no, and he's
an actor too.
He also used to be a good actor. Like there
think
still
he's still
is a good actor, but I'm saying like when I first met him, it was in like some dumb rom-com.
Yeah,
I thought he was like, and I don't know why. I'm just gonna say something. I don't usually. He's kind of like a bigger guy. You know, so whenever he's the love interest in the rom-com, it was like 3 or 4 different couples that the movie was following. I don't remember what this movie's called. I just remember thinking like, that guy's story isn't going to be very good. And then it was the best story in the whole movie. And I was like, oh, it's because he's a good actor and he's good at working with the material given.
He's good at being human.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
do we have human music here from Rick and Morty anywhere? No, okay.
No,
I'll save that for later.
We'll definitely save that.
We gotta load that
but
in.
That's a pretty good segue. So aside from all the Star Wars crap, let's talk about something else in sci-fi that's actually good. Let's talk about Rick and Morty, which is a super popular show. It just came back after.
What is that? I've never heard of it. Kidding.
It's a super, super long break. The 4th season, which is only 10 episodes long and divided in half. And the first
5 and
episode
5
just came back. And Christian, you literally just got done watching it.
I watched it like an hour ago, right after our lunch break. Sat down and watched it. Lot to take in. I see why you watched it 2 or 3 times before you wanted to talk about it. The writing in that show is almost self-aware at this point.
It's extremely self-aware.
It's so good. It doesn't even make sense. I don't know how to describe this episode, Corey. Maybe you can just describe it, and I'll jump in and tell you as you
It's an impossible episode to describe. What's funny about the episode is, again, Rick and Morty is a show which builds itself on the fact that it's high-concept sci-fi stories.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it can be parodies of movies, novels, books, what have you.
Pop culture.
And this is an episode which takes the concept of a literary device and makes it a real, literal literary device, which is what I thought was probably the funniest thing about it. The entire episode is all about Rick and Morty being seemingly stuck on this train, which is filled with all of these characters, which are telling these non-stop stories about some of their adventures that we've seen or may have not even happened at all. And it's all hinging on the fact that it ends on a ridiculous twist where we actually haven't been with Rick and Morty at all, but it's actually just sort of like a construct of them inside of a toy train.
Yeah, but the train represents a literal device.
Yeah.
So that's important.
A literal literary device, which is just
I think
so
they just
damn
liked
funny.
saying that in the writing room.
I think they do, too. I think they found that phrase like, oh, that's really funny. We're going to run with that one.
Yeah.
And the episode kind of reminded me of some of the episodes from the previous seasons, which they called Interdimensional Cable, which is really just an excuse for them to do improv and make jokes and nonsense and then animate around it. kind of like the Midnight Gospel.
Yeah.
And this time they even brought that up. They're like, no, this isn't really like interdimensional cable. It's more of an anthology, which is to say it's just a bunch of random stories and things that practically go nowhere, with Rick and Morty desperately trying to find their way back to the real world off this train. And it also involves a brand new villain because they love these ridiculous villain of the week type characters.
Yes, they do.
They called him Story Lord.
Story Lord?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Story Lord villain, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone that's bad gets ripped in this. The train conductor or the ticket guy.
What did they call them?
I did not catch it, but I get that they were talking about his abs or like the ripples next to your abs, those things.
Yeah. But they bleep it.
Yeah, they bleep it.
From what I've seen, I think it's cum gutters.
Oh, my God.
Which is why it's so fucked up in the first place. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I don't even know what sound effect is appropriate for that. Oh my God!
I loved it, and I had so many favorite parts of the episode. My favorite part though was the Bechdel test.
What's that one?
Okay, so there's the whole scenario where finally Rick and Morty get outside of the train.
Yes,
and they're desperately trying to get back in and try to figure out how to like stop all this stuff. And Morty has to create a fake scenario in order for them to do this. He has to construct a story within his mind, but he has to do it using.
Sorry.
He has to use it doing the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Which is a test that was created in the 1980s by a woman named Alison Bechdel, which is basically how to tell an appropriate story about feminism. And the Bechdel test has like a few rules to it, like you have to have a story that involves, or like a scene that involves two women.
Yeah.
And they can't be talking about a man or a relationship or anything. They have to talk about stuff other than that the whole time. And Morty, desperately trying to come up with a story of this, he came up with a story about his sister and his mom just talking about utter nonsense, about having tea, about
being on
their periods, which takes the form of a rainbow, showing that Morty knows absolutely nothing about the menstrual cycle.
Yes.
And then battling against a group of scorpions, which, of course, they have to remind you are female because they all have pink bows. Describing this out loud is ridiculous, but
this episode is hard to review without the visuals.
It is impossible to review, practically. I mean, I've seen people try to make sense of it, but the Bechdel test scene just... It destroyed me with how funny it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the fact that the scorpions were wearing pink bows, just to let you know that they are female.
Yes.
It just, I don't know. I just thought that scene was really, really funny.
I just know so many people. The one thing that's like, it didn't offend me, but it scared me that they put that in an episode, and that was that Jesus Christ story killer.
Yeah?
The Jesus Christ story killing.
Why does that scare you?
Because it was like too offensive. Like, I know people that would offend. Like, that's
good. They need to be offended. They need to be challenged.
It's freaked me out.
What bad happened?
Nothing bad happened. Jesus literally saved them.
Rick and Morty asked for Jesus' help.
Yes.
And Jesus helped.
Yeah, it's just boring.
What I find funny about this is that you're reacting the same way that Morty did.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, like, is this a line we should cross? I mean, and then Rick is just like, Morty, are you serious? We literally...
Jesus literally just saved us.
Jesus literally just saved us, and you're trying to find something offensive about this? Like, that is the joke behind that whole thing.
Oh my God. They had to make up a story to get out of the, they got caught by this beam that was like draining all their creativity and their story elements out of them. And so they decided to ask Jesus, they made up Jesus coming and all his Veggie Tales and the Biblesaurus, all the crappy
favorite character from
like
the season
Christian things that have been made up throughout history in the last few years. Crossy the Cross or whatever that cross was, I forgot.
There was a cross. There was a talking celery stalk.
Yeah,
it was like the Veggie Tales.
The Veggie Tales.
Yeah,
and then they use that and Jesus saves them, and it's just like, and the joke was literally these stories are crap. So we're going to use them to derail the storytelling beam from stealing all of our creativity. And it was like, whoa. I was like, it made me uncomfortable. I can just imagine a bunch of people being offended by that one.
Of course they can be, but I
don't know. Freedom of speech, whatever. You gotta say what you want to say. And it was offensive and well done. So that is hard to do. It's easy to just shit and fart jokes and
I don't think there's anything offensive about Biblesaurus.
Corey. I don't know.
I want a T-shirt of Biblesaurus.
Oh no!
I love Biblesaurus. Just
I want that big group on my T-shirt, and then it says like Jesus saves. You know.
You're just giving them free ideas.
I know, that's good merch.
Which ends up, again, being a great joke at the end of the episode. You find out it's just Rick and Morty in the real world, and this is a train that Morty got for Rick as a gift, and Rick's only advice to him is that you did good. You spent money, you went to a store, and you consumed. That's the only thing you should do is consume. This whole episode, in many ways, was kind of directed directly at the Rick and Morty audience, and it was done in a way that you need to rewatch it a couple of times, I think, to fully appreciate it. God, that was great.
What? So... why do you think it was directed at the audience? Explain that concept a little better to me. Sorry, I don't understand.
The whole concept at the end of the consuming and everything, like just blindly.
See, I almost thought, obviously, they didn't plan this out. I thought that was the coronavirus almost thing. Like they were saying, like you're killing the economy unless you go out and buy stuff. Right now, you got to buy, you got to consume. You walked right into the open mouth of what was it, capitalism, and they sucked you off or whatever it was.
What do you mean return it? Go buy another one. Who's gonna buy anything with this virus?
Yeah, and
it's good that they were able to incorporate that in because, again, it also made it relevant. Of course, it will date the episode a little bit in time, but still.
This was a flippin' random episode of Rick and Morty, though.
A lot of people have the reaction. A lot of people don't like it.
I would not say it's a bad episode. I would just say the adventure is disconnected. The randomness is off the scale. And you don't really get introduced to anyone besides Rick and Morty. It's just a bunch of throwaway characters.
Goomby.
Because
Justin Roiland loves his one-off ridiculous characters with weird, goofy names.
The big round heads or the pill heads, yeah.
And hilariously enough, what I think I loved most about this episode was that it was just a big middle finger to people who were anticipating the season, because the preview they had for the season showed what looked like a lot of interesting developments for the whole Evil Morty storyline, and the return of Bird Person and
Bird Person made many appearances.
Yeah, he did have an appearance in this episode, but it was I'm assuming a flashback sequence during a musical sequence with him and Rick, and Tammy returning, of course. Like all that stuff is like stuff that people were anticipating.
Yeah,
and it was all a part of this like fake construct in this episode, which again I know is going to piss people off. People like the continuity in the lore of Rick and Morty.
That's the thing; they're blurring those lines so hard right now. I don't even know if there is continuity anymore. So, is there actually a little Rick and a little Morty in that train?
That's the thing. Not really.
Ugh.
I know, or maybe it is. That's the thing. It's up for
interpretation,
which is what I think is so.
There's just
hilariously fascinating about it.
I don't even understand how they got on the train. We were talking to one of our other coworkers. He was saying this is actually a riff of a Star Trek episode where they got stuck on a starship.
It was the holodeck.
The holodeck episode where they got stuck, and the ticket guy keeps coming around asking for their tickets, and sort of seemed like
ticket guy.
The ticket blood god.
Ticket please guy.
Yeah, the ticket please.
Became a god.
The blood
living
god.
Between both worlds.
Yeah.
Like, there is some crazy thought put into this episode.
I do not understand how you laid this episode out on paper. And then you made it.
You would have to have been in that story concession room.
Oh my god!
With all them trying to describe that ridiculousness of that episode. Did you ever see the episode from the end of the last season?
No, I know the time travel snake one. I still haven't seen that.
So you know about it now.
I know. I've seen many clips. I've seen like 3 minutes of it.
Because I have done everything in my power to not mention anything about that. And the fact that you said the time traveling snake episode.
That's all I know.
That's all you need to. All I know is I'll just say this. The entire episode is basically just making fun of time travel and how stupid it is.
That's what I sort of understood. Yeah.
Because time travel fucks everything up.
Yeah. You can't go back in time.
Whether it be the actual like events of the story or the story structure itself, time travel just does not work. Because there's no real rules to it. And that's like the whole joke of the episode. And if you love stuff like Terminator
and
Back to the Future, then you're going to love that episode.
The snake Terminator guy that shows up, the fleshy snake monster thing that tries to be Terminator. Yeah. Even has a little black leather jacket.
And that's just one part. Like, you'll see. There's so much more to that episode.
I do want to watch it. I need to sit down and watch it.
It's really funny because my girlfriend's really into, like, sci-fi and all that stuff, and she's never seen Rick and Morty. And that was the first episode we watched together.
Just then?
It was when we were on vacation, and we just like...
Oh, the time-traveling snake one, not
we got back late one night, and we were just like really tired, and we turned it to Adult Swim, and Rick and Morty was on. I was like, babe, you gotta watch this series. I've been wanting you to watch Rick and Morty. Maybe kind of a weird episode to introduce you to, but just watch it. And she thought it was really funny, but at the same time, she was just like, what the fuck was that?
What just happened?
Like, what happened, really? But she understood that it was making fun of, like, time travel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I need to show her it from the beginning because
Very self-aware show.
yeah, there is a surprising amount of continuity with Rick and Morty. So yeah, good stuff there. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the rest of the season is going to bring. I think with everything that's going on right now, Rick and Morty is exactly what we need.
It is.
There's not going to be any shortage of things to watch, but I'm glad Rick and Morty is back. And if this episode is any indication, I have no idea what to expect from the rest of the episodes now. In fact, most of the scenes that I think they showed from the preview, a lot of them were just from this episode.
Yeah, it seemed like they burned through all the stuff that you thought like the continuity was going to catch back up on, and then it wasn't.
Yeah. So I'm very excited because there was just so many. That was actually genius in the way they actually handled it because this whole episode was about all these different scenarios.
Yes.
And they could just grab like a small screen grab from each one, and you're like, what is that episode going to be about?
Yeah.
No, it's just one of the random occurrences which takes place in this episode right here.
Not real.
With Goombie and Biblesaurus and
Oh no.
Ticket Please Guy.
Ticket Please Guy.
There's
Blood
one thing
God.
Rick and Morty's good at. It's creating these one-off amazing like characters that you never see again and that are awesome.
Why is he so ripped?
Cum gutters, man.
Oh my God!
Cum cutters.
Don't say that anymore.
I'm going to.
No.
That's right. Anywho, so
Yeah, where do you go from there, Corey?
Where do you go from there?
I don't know.
Where do you go from cum gutters to anything?
Maybe to jizz lanes. I don't know, Corey. I'm just trying to help you out here. Get out of this hole. I feel like I crawled in it with you instead.
All right, well let's crawl out of the cum for a second.
Wah, wah.
If anything, this whole podcast was an excuse to test this thing out.
I know, guys. Well, welcome to our simulated podcast for all of your enjoyment. Well, guys, I don't have all that much else to talk about because there's no One Piece.
Yeah, there's no One Piece this week.
No 2-piece or 3-piece.
No 5-piece either.
None of it.
Stuff. We can make this joke just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't really have too much of a structured plan this week, but we wanted to make sure and give you guys an episode. And again, like we said, this episode at the end of the day is mostly a guinea pig for trying out this new thing right here, which seems to be working really well. We'll have to see what it all is like when we actually get the edited version out.
Yeah.
But we're going to be using it a lot more in the coming episodes here. And again, we'll try to have more of a plan for what we're actually going to talk about next time. But so far I think it's working out, and at first I was a little apprehensive about using it, especially with the whole sound effect thing, because at first it just comes across as kind of like a cheap radio thing.
Yeah.
But I'll be damned if it's not fun.
Oh, that's crickets. If that's not fun, I don't know what is.
And of course we can load up our own sound effects, so I mean there's so much we can do to
we're gonna get rickety wrecked. We're gonna put those in there. We're gonna have all sorts of fun stuff going on, guys. Maybe even like make our own jingles for certain segments if we want to like make 2 or 3 segments, like reviews, and we can have.
I do have one thing I want to say, and you've probably seen this.
Talk to me.
This is so random. I want to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Kevin James, comedian.
The sound guy stuff.
Have you been watching those?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Damn, how long have you been watching those?
Like last 3 weeks.
Oh my.
Yeah, I've been watching them.
I just discovered them 2 days ago.
Well, you like the sound guy in a lot of our shoots, so you get it.
Exactly. If you haven't seen, Kevin James has his own YouTube channel, which is great, and he's got this brand new series out, which is basically him being a sound guy, a boom operator, and he's just inserting himself into all of these classic movies and movie scenes.
Yep.
And they're fucking hilarious. And like you said, I work as a sound tech, so I literally do what he does. Like, I'm holding the boom pole, I'm trying to hold it straight and stuff. And sometimes
try to get good room tone.
Trying to get good room tone. Some of them, my favorite one's probably the Braveheart one.
I like the Notebook one.
The Notebook one is really good.
That's my favorite.
What I love about the Braveheart one is because it's stuff. It's funny for me because I've gone through that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, airplane. Hold on, guys. We gotta wait. And everybody's looking at you like it's your problem. It's like, hey, and I love it. He's like, hey, I just recorded. I don't control what the sounds are, And it's so fucking true. Like every time I'm like working as a sound tech, if I'm doing an interview or for outside or something,
yeah.
If you got an airplane or if you got like a big car or a truck coming around, you got to wait for it to pass and you got to go back. But I think it's really clever. But man, not only are they just really funny, but I think the person who's not getting enough credit is the colorist. Because whenever they're filming these, of course, they're not just filming them on a green screen and just inserting them in the movie. They're manipulating the light to truly make it look like he's a part of that scene.
Well, I don't think that's the
shadows
colorist. I think that's honestly the DP. He looks at the scene, sees where the light's coming, and then lights him on the green screen to make it look like he was there.
Really?
So when they cut out the
Damn,
green
that's
screen,
so good.
it's like you got to look at the direction of the sun. Because if you light someone even and clean for a green screen, they would look weird in a normal setting.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see like, where's the sun coming from? Okay, the key light, like this big light here, has to come from that direction too. Like it's more the DP. You're probably right. The colorist has something to do with it, but it's really honestly, I think everyone involved understands.
But it's great. It's almost seamless. Like he almost looks like he really is meant to be there.
Oh yeah, he looked like he was in that Will Smith movie with the zombies.
Oh, I am legend.
Yeah, look at me, I got a gun too. Bang, bang, bang. You know.
And what was the one with Sylvester Stallone?
I haven't seen that one. I've only seen
I
haven't even seen the Braveheart one. Now that you're mentioning it.
Oh, the Braveheart one is so good.
I haven't seen those.
It's so well done. But he does one with Sylvester Stallone. I don't know if it was Creed or something, but it's like, Sylvester's giving like this really important speech, and there's this part that they took advantage of where he looks off to the side, and like Kevin James is sitting there, and like the speech is really like powerful, and he's like starting to cry a little bit, and then he starts to wipe his eyes, and the boom pole kind of drops, and they actually like show the pole
coming into frame,
and then Sylvester like looks at it, and then it comes back, and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. Those are really, really clever.
Because that's what being on a set's like.
Yeah.
But you better not do it too much, or they'll never fucking invite you back.
They really will not. I'm lucky enough that has not happened.
Yeah, you've never bumped anyone with a boom pole.
I've never bumped anybody with a mic yet, and I've done so many records at this point. But yeah, I think it's definitely funny, maybe more funny for people who actually work in the industry.
But it's like that.
But it's
obviously
totally like that.
It's comedic, and no one's getting mad, and no one's trying to fire you. But it is like that on a film set, Yeah, I think working on a film set's fun besides the horrific hours. Mm-hmm. It is long days on those things, guys. Well, I want to just say thank you guys so much for listening today. If you enjoy what we do, support us in our links below. Obviously, the Patreon. I think you guys know if you donate or become a patron, you can also request a series or an episode or a movie for Corey to review, and he will do it. Someone made the funny joke, if I donate, I can get Corey to read my webtoons. And Corey's like, he's like, let's try to keep it anime.
Let's try to keep it anime.
Anime or manga.
There's no try. Let's make it anime.
No. Well, what about if they wanted to pay you to review the new Star Wars film? I think they could. I think you'd do it. Just $10, and you can infuriate
It doesn't
Corey.
count as an anime review.
Well, what about the new Clone Wars series? There we go. Anyway, so if you donate, you control Corey through money. Man, we love all the comments. We know these are random episodes, guys. That's what this is supposed to be. This is just us being creative and fun. Mm-hmm. This is not a big structure thing. This is like the roots of why we got started, and it was doing videos like this. So if you like what we do, leave a comment. If you have a suggestion, if you want us to look at goofy photos on the internet, send them to us. If you want them to watch ridiculous hype beast shit that's out there right now, let us know, and we will check it out. And I'll let you close it out, Corey.
That's pretty much it. Guys, thank you so much for checking us out, and until next time, we'll see you. No, one more.
And we're out.